As the Omicron variant continues to surge, in order to keep kids in school, staff and community members are stepping up to fill some vacant positions. I'm Chris Warner with how that's coming together in the Northeast USD 246 district.
President Biden responds to concerns on inflation and supply chain disruptions. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington. A closer look at the debate surrounding what's causing the rising prices coming up.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. As Omicron surges and schools close because of staffing shortages, new plans are needed to keep kids in class. KOM's Chris Warner paid a visit to one local district working outside the box to fill those open positions.
Elementary Principal Kirsten Womble says Northeast USD 246 has been struggling with staffing issues like every other district in our area.
It's been a little difficult for us as a small town because we share subs with every district in the area.
But you wouldn't know that if you had paid a visit to one of their schools like we did. That's because everyone is stepping up.
It's been kind of neat seeing teachers that may teach fifth grade or junior high stepping into a kindergarten position for an hour or two. Kindergarten teachers experiencing junior high, experiencing custodial duties. It's been really nice to see them all step up.
They're getting help from beyond the halls of the school.
We actually have 3 parents that have called in and they've signed up to sub for us, which is really nice because they're only subbing for our district.
The superintendent is helping out too by passing out lunch in the cafeteria. Even Womble is lending a hand where needed.
I am an elementary school teacher through and through, and I taught junior high this week, and it was really eye-opening having a totally different age group of kids, along with working in the cafeteria and cleaning up any messes that we needed.
She's not the only one. A number of staff members are filling roles outside their comfort zone, including high school principal Russ Kramer.
I have my CDL and I'm able to drive a bus. This week I've been driving the bus in the morning and the afternoon because we have some bus drivers out.
Kramer says there's a benefit to stepping into something new.
Being able to step in and do a job that you're not normally doing gives you a new appreciation for what other people are doing around.
In Arma, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Womble says they're going to continue doing everything in their power to keep kids in school and safe. 3 different studies all show you're better off with a COVID vaccine booster shot. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Siri explains from Atlanta.
The CDC is highlighting 3 new studies that all show the same result. 3 doses of either Pfizer or Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine offer strong protection against the Omicron variant. It's the first real-world data about how boosters are interacting with the strain. In one study, a 3rd shot was shown to be at least 90% effective in preventing hospitalizations during the Omicron surge. And adults who got their boosters and still got sick were able to avoid intensive care 82% of the time.
These reports add more evidence to the importance of being up to date with COVID vaccinations. That means getting your primary series and getting boosted.
Another study found Omicron reduced the vaccine's protection against COVID-related deaths, but it still remains significantly higher compared to unvaccinated people. Health officials say those results demonstrate the need to push for more shots in arms, with just 24% of Americans receiving a booster so far.
Get your vaccinations up to date. It is essential for your protection.
The new data follow a different study that showed prior infection offered good protection against the Delta strain, leading some to suggest the endemic phase of the outbreak is just around the corner.
We could get to this endemic situation where these viruses are kind of constantly circulating, but it's not causing nearly as much severe illness.
A new model from the Mayo Clinic is predicting the Omicron surge will peak before the end of the month. In Atlanta, Jonathan Siri, Fox News.
Meteorologist Doug Heddy joining us now. First look at the forecast. Bit warmer today.
Yeah, it's still cold, but better than what we have seen over the past couple days, as we did go into the mid-30s for highs, which is pretty good, a lot better than what we have seen. We do have some clouds which are streaming through the area. So partly cloudy skies tonight into tomorrow morning. A weak little wave is passing to our north. Any of these snow showers will pretty much fall apart by the time they make it here. So we are going to stay dry. Temperatures dropping back. Most of us right around 20 I think with a southerly wind picking up, we're not going to drop off too much more from this point on. But of course, we're going to look at the weekend here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. 4-staters today learned about elder care at Missouri Southern. It was the Elder Care Boot Camp. Participants learned about elder care and related issues, things like legal considerations and how to recognize elder abuse and neglect.
We just hope to empower the community to know the resources in the community, know when to reach out so that they can take care of their elderly loved ones.
The boot camp was led by an area attorney and health professional. As he starts the second year of his term, President Biden and the White House clearly see political peril and prices rising and are trying to get a handle on supply chain woes. But critics say trillions more in government spending is going to hurt, not help inflation. Fox's Lauren Blanchard is in D.C. now with the latest.
Folks, look, during this pandemic, your pocketbook felt the consequences. Inflation, higher prices.
President Biden acknowledging the reality facing many Americans. High prices, most places they open their wallets, and a nagging concern that costs aren't going down.
There's such extreme labor shortages. It's not only leading to long lead times, but also to higher prices.
President Biden maintains the way out is through the passage of his Build Back Better bill.
Nothing's going to do more to ease pressure on families.
But it has already failed once in Congress. His hope now is to pass chunks of the legislation instead. He'll likely hit the road to sell parts of the plan rather than negotiate with lawmakers like he has in the past.
We're going to get as much, a big mountain-sized chunk, whatever you want to call it, as much as we can of the Build Back Better agenda that we can get 50 votes for.
In the way, Republicans who believe more government spending is the culprit for 40-year inflation highs.
Massively increasing government spending and debt right now is giving a cancer patient a cigarette. I think it would make things worse.
Biden has really acquiesced to the radical left of his party.
Gas Buddy analysts are warning it could cost on average $4 a gallon to fill up your tank by this spring. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
KOM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes its time now to honor another 4-state hero. George Ditmars served in the U.S. Army during the Civil War. A native of Chanute, Kansas, Ditmars was part of Company D, 9th Kansas Volunteer Cavalry's part of the Union Army. We are proud to thank and salute Private George Ditmars. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And a bit later, a Chiefs assistant coach interviews for a head coaching job with a division rival. Gonna have those details in sports.
It's a
Well, it turned out to be a little bit warmer for us today. Still cold, still almost 15 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year, but we are heading in the right direction, which is always good news. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, right on the west side of the town. And overall, it looks okay. It's Friday night. The parking lot's filling up. But if you are going to be out, make sure you bundle up as temperatures continue to drop. Look at our lows last night. 5, 6, 7 degrees. Cold start. We warmed through the teens, 20s. Most of us lower 30s during the afternoon, but again, we should be topping out at about 45 for this time of the year. Over the past several hours, we've dropped back anywhere from upper teens to about 20 degrees. I don't think we're going to drop off too much more, maybe 2 or 3 degrees, 16 to 18 for an overnight low, but still cold across the region, but we do continue to warm up tomorrow. At least our winds are back out of the south. This is going to help our temps out as we go into Saturday, also into Sunday, and we still have a little bit of a wind chill, making it feel just a little bit colder than what it actually is. And it looks like as we go through the rest of the overnight hours tonight, we're going to continue to get some clouds working in. You can see partly cloudy skies, especially along and north of I-44. This is due to a weak little wave just to our north. You can even see some light snow showers, Iowa, back through northern parts of Kansas. Most of this is going to skirt to our north, and this will mainly fall apart as it passes through. We may get a flurry or two late tonight into tomorrow morning, but that should be just about it. Besides that, not a whole bunch going on, just this weak little wave. And if you look out toward the west, pretty quiet. We have a little system down here near Las Vegas. That will affect us on Monday, but mainly stay to our south. There's really no big storm systems over the next, week or so. Let's break it down for you. Upper teens for us tonight. We do have some clouds skirting through as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. Tomorrow looks pretty good. We're going to have partly sunny skies. 6 a.m., 19, 40 by noon, high temp right around 45, which is where we should be for this time of the year. Westerly winds are going to be light at about 5 to 10. Mostly clear for us tomorrow night. We'll drop back into the upper 20s, and then heading into Sunday. Sunday looks pretty good as well. Most of us are going to warm near 50 during the afternoon. If you're heading north Kansas City, 5:30 kickoff against the Bills. Kind of a big game, but at least football weather looks pretty good. And then Sunday night we'll drop back into the 30s once again. We do have a storm system on Monday that mainly skirts south of us, but we may get a random shower in here, a random snow shower in here late Monday into Tuesday morning. Besides that, it looks pretty good. 45 tomorrow, 51 Sunday, 57 on Monday, and then we cool back down on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Just a reminder of perspective, right? Is it cold right now? Yeah, but is it as cold as last night?
Nope.
No.
So that's good.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much, Doug. Coming up, a march to raise awareness.
Pro-life advocates march on Washington ahead of a pivotal Supreme Court decision on abortion expected later this year. I'm Mala Rivera at the Supreme Court with more coming up.
We've got warmer.
There's new information about how to treat kids with peanut allergies. A large study conducted by The Lancet found immunotherapy using small doses of peanut protein powder led to 71% of kids becoming desensitized to peanut allergens. The study also found the younger immunotherapy was started, the more effective it was. America's largest pro-life rally was held in the nation's capital today. The annual event marks the 49th anniversary of Roe v. Wade, but many feel this year's march could be the last before the Supreme Court potentially overturns this landmark 1973 decision. Just yesterday, the court delivered a blow to abortion providers in Texas, letting a restrictive law stay in effect. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
Frigid temperatures didn't stop thousands of pro-life activists from gathering in Washington Friday. They've been holding the March for Life rally every year since the Supreme Court decided Roe v. Wade in 1973.
Life is sacred, it's a gift from God.
But now they're even more energized, warned by the hope that the court could finally answer their call to upend or roll back the landmark ruling.
We're so hopeful and positive that Roe will be overturned.
The march comes as the High Court considers the constitutionality of a Mississippi law that bans abortions after 15 weeks. Roe guaranteed a person's right to an abortion up to viability considered at 24 weeks. After hearing arguments in December, the court, with a 6-3 conservative majority, signaled an openness to weaken the nearly 50-year-old precedent.
I think that we're at a tipping point.
On Thursday, the Supreme Court dealt an additional blow to abortion providers, rejecting another attempt to block Texas' 6-week abortion ban. Some of those providers warning of more dangers if Roe is overturned.
Our fear is that people will do things that are more harmful to themselves, and that we will go back to seeing more women end up dying because they don't want to be pregnant.
The Supreme Court is expected to make a decision in the Mississippi case this summer. But March for Life organizers say if Roe v. Wade is overturned, the movement's work isn't done, as the decision would return the issue to the states. At the Supreme Court, Mala Rivera, Fox News.
Still ahead, IRS adding a new verification step for people looking to file taxes online. Going to start soon paying more to wash your clothes. The maker of Tide and Gain laundry detergents, Procter & Gamble, has announced a price hike. It also makes Downy fabric softener and Bounce dryer sheets. The company said Wednesday it was raising prices for retail customers by about 8% next month. Procter & Gamble said the move is intended to offset some cost pressures. Tax season is kicking off, and major backlogs aren't the only concern for taxpayers this year. Fox Business Network's Jerry Willis reports on the IRS's new plan of a facial recognition requirement to access your data.
A new program being launched by the IRS will require you to scan your face and provide other personal data in order to be able to access your online tax data. The IRS hiring a third-party company, ID.me, as gatekeeper to verify filers' identity, claiming facial recognition is the most secure way to file. Charles Rettig, IRS Commissioner, saying this: identity verification is critical to protect taxpayers and their information. The IRS has been working hard to make improvements in this area, and this new verification process is designed to make IRS online applications as secure as possible. But taxpayer trust in the IRS is extremely low, due in part to scandals like the targeting of Tea Party groups by the IRS in 2013. Leading some to question whether the information gathered by ID.me will be shared with the nation's largest tax collector or other federal agencies. ID.me says the IRS doesn't see biometrics. It's simply confirmation that the person is legitimate. Listen.
We match a selfie to the photo on your government ID. It's called one-to-one matching. It's what you do every time you unlock your smartphone. We want to be crystal clear that we do one-to-one matching. We're not doing any type of surveillance programs or anything of that nature.
He added that the only case in which information from the company's scans might be shared with federal agencies is in the cases of fraud, when a scammer is posing as a taxpayer. Now, with Monday being the first day that 2021 tax returns will be accepted, the IRS is facing a critical tax season. Just before Christmas, the agency still had 6 million unprocessed returns from last year. And President Biden has made moves to increase their workload by looking at digital payment apps. By June, facial recognition will be the only way to log into IRS.gov. That's where people check in on child tax credit updates and online payment updates. It's a long way to go for an agency whose some of their processing equipment is 40 years old. Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
Up next, why the weather on Mars delayed a planned NASA mission. For the first time ever, a space mission is delayed because of rough weather on another planet. Right there, the Ingenuity helicopter was slated to fly to Mars 2 days ago, but according to NASA, the team had to push the flight back because of an unusually strong regional dust storm on the red planet. And dust in the atmosphere is the greatest threat to Mars missions. That's because the dust can decrease the amount of sunlight that reaches the solar panels, which of course power missions like Ingenuity. So now the team anticipates the flight is going to take place on Sunday. Makes you realize just how technology these days, we can know the weather not only on our planet, Earth, but know in detail the weather on other planets too. Pretty cool. All right, 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
A young boy's wish is finally coming true, and it's all thanks to some familiar characters. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with those details.
Plus, after taking a break because of the pandemic, Pittsburgh Multi-Generational Chorus is performing again.
Nominate.
In 2019, Oliver Ruth suffered a major stroke after fighting influenza. Now, at 5 years old, he's still receiving therapy and treatments for it. And 2 years ago, the young boy was supposed to go to Disney World as part of a Make-A-Wish, but because of COVID, it was postponed. KOM's Bronte Sorotsky, though, tells us how he's finally getting his wish and how his favorite Star Wars character was there to help.
Oliver has been waiting 2 years for his wish to come true. Today we are going to let Oliver know that your wish is coming true.
At 5 years old, Oliver Ruth has dealt with hardships.
Oliver had a stroke and then he was referred to Make-A-Wish by his Children's Mercy neurologist in Kansas City.
His mother Amanda says it's been hard.
It hasn't been an easy road at all, so we're still going to therapies and many doctor visits.
But on Friday, Oliver and his family didn't have to think about all of that.
And you're gonna go to Disney World to the Galaxy's Edge. We made a poster for you they're gonna take home.
Instead, he received a big surprise from his classmates and Make-A-Wish. Now they get to focus on getting ready for an all-expenses-paid trip to Disney World in Florida.
They have therapy and they have the doctor's appointments, and this is a week that he gets to eat ice cream for breakfast if he chooses and go on as many roller coasters as he wants as he chooses.
But for Oliver, the best part?
I fight him.
Meeting his favorite Star Wars character.
When you touch his lightsaber, your hand your hand gets cut off.
Him and his brothers, they play with lightsabers all the time at home, so it's like a constant Star Wars battle.
For his mom, watching him get to live out that in real life was a dream.
I was happy that he was getting to live his dream, so something he's always wanted to do.
And Oliver says he's excited to meet all of his favorite Star Wars characters.
Yeah, like the Death Trooper.
In Neosho, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Oliver, enjoy that trip, little man. When asked about Oliver choosing Darth Vader as his favorite, Make-A-Wish says they just hope he doesn't actually go to the dark side. Just stay sweet, Oliver. Have fun. Pittsburgh Multi-Generational Chorus is returning after a COVID-induced hiatus. Chorus is set to perform what was supposed to be its fall concert on Sunday at the Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. We got to look and listen at rehearsal today. The concert, you're going to love this, will feature love songs from the 60s and some more modern work.
I feel stronger than it would have been last fall because we all are just ready and we're ready to perform and we're super pumped up. Today's rehearsal went very well. I love working with the band. They really pulled us all together. There was lots of laughter. We had a birthday. We sang to him. I mean, we're a very tight group and I'm super excited to perform.
Admission is free. Masks are required. People near Granby, Missouri yesterday morning reported a train derailment along Old Highway E in the Shoal Creek Bottoms. At least 5 cars derailed on a BNSF train. MoDOT officials say there were no injuries and the train was not carrying any hazardous materials. Actor and comedian Louis Anderson passed away at age 68. The Baskets actor and Family Feud host passed away this morning at a hospital in Las Vegas. Anderson's publicist confirmed he died of complications from a type of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Anderson was a celebrated actor. He won a Primetime Emmy for his role in Baskets and 2 Daytime Emmys for his voice work in the animated series Life with Louie. Anderson also made appearances in TV series such as Scrubs and Touched by an Angel. He was known for various stand-up comedy specials and frequent late-night talk show appearances. An American musician and actor with a legendary flair for music showmanship and starring in a lasting popular cult film has also passed away. Marvin Lee Aday, better known as the stage name Meatloaf, has died at the age of 74. His death was announced on his official Facebook page. Meatloaf was best known for his 1977 album and songs from Bad Outta Hell and for other songs like I Would Do Anything for Love and 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad. Meatloaf sold 100 million albums worldwide and starred in films like Rocky Horror Picture Show, Wayne's World, and Fight Club. Secretary of State Antony Blinken meeting with his Russian counterpart as tensions still build over Ukraine. Western allies are sending military aids to Ukraine. That's in case of a possible Russian invasion. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more.
A weeks-long standoff over Ukraine reaching a critical point Friday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov meeting in Geneva for talks aimed at preventing a Russian invasion of Ukraine. Both diplomats warning no breakthrough is imminent. Blinken says if Russia wants to convince the world it has no plans to invade, it should begin removing troops from Ukraine's borders.
We're looking at what is visible to all, and it is deeds and actions, not words, that make the difference.
The two sides say they'll exchange ideas and concerns in writing next week and plan to meet after that. Lavrov adding Moscow expects concrete answers to its security demands.
I haven't heard any point today that would justify the American position on what is happening at the Russian-Ukrainian border. Only concerns.
Meanwhile, more Russian troops are moving into the region for training exercises. Ukraine's military intelligence accused Russia today of sending weapons and supplies into eastern Ukraine and recruiting mercenaries to support pro-Russian separatists in the area. Russia's actions raising fears of military escalation and prompting Western allies to send equipment and weaponry to Ukraine. The Biden administration says more is on the way. U.S. officials confirmed to Fox News that the State Department is looking at evacuating diplomats' families from Ukraine. In Kiev, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
A bit later, a proud record.
A British-Belgian teen becomes the youngest woman to fly solo around the world. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer, and I've got the details on her record-breaking trip just ahead.
What a new
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good Friday for us today. Any Friday is really a pretty good Friday. We had quite a bit of sunshine. Temperatures warmer than what we have seen over the past couple days. Here's a nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, it's Friday night, so people getting out at the local casinos. Of course, Indigo's right on the west side of Seneca, Missouri, but looks pretty good. All right, temperatures this morning, they were cold. Most of us 5, 6, 7 degrees during the early morning hours. We did warm up better than what we have seen over the past couple days. Most of us 30 to about 32, and of course we're dropping off now. It's kind of cold. Once again, it's not going to get as cold tonight, but kind of cold. 21 in Fort Scott, 21 in Parsons, 22 in Commerce, 21 in Knoll. We have Carthage checking in at 20 degrees. The winds are very light, but they've been switching around now to the south. That southerly direction, southwesterly direction, especially tomorrow, that's going to help our temperatures warm up a little bit more. So we still have a little bit of a wind chill, but it's not bad, upper teens to near 20 degrees, pretty close to matching our temperature right now. All right, some clouds kind of skirting through, so we're going to call it partly cloudy skies for us tonight. There's a weak wave just to our north, and you can even see a few light little snow showers north central Kansas up through parts of Iowa, and most of this is going to stay to our north. I do think as this band tries to get in late tonight into tomorrow morning, we're going to have the clouds, may get a random flurry or two. It's not that big of a deal. Besides that, not a whole bunch going on. In fact, let's go out toward the west. This is where our weather comes from. There's a weak little wave, northern parts of Arizona. That's mainly going to skirt to our south, but could give us at least slight chances for rain by the time we head into Monday. All right, for us tonight, we drop back a few more degrees, probably 3 or 4 more degrees from where we're sitting right now. We do go into the 40s tomorrow. We get back to where we should be for this time of the year. 19 to start, 40 by noon, high temp right around 45 degrees. So Saturday looks pretty good. Tomorrow night, we slide back, upper 20s, so not as cold again. On Sunday, I think we're going to approach 50, which is pretty good. If you're going to Kansas City for the game, Sunday evening temperatures near 40 by kickoff, so it's not going to be too cold. We do have that next little system on Monday. This is mainly going to skirt to our south. We may get a shower, a random snow shower in here Monday night into Tuesday morning. We do cool down Tuesday into Wednesday, so it stays kind of cool. Here's Tuesday. We can go into Wednesday. We start to warm things back up. Another system on Thursday that could give us a few showers, maybe a few snow showers, but no big systems anytime soon. All right, 45 tomorrow. 51 on Sunday, 57 on Monday. Cooling back down just a bit, Tuesday 37, 45 on Wednesday.
That's something, 57 on Monday.
Yeah, 57 is going to feel pretty good.
It will. Doug, thank you. QR codes seem to be the safe alternative, right, for no contact ordering, payment, and delivery during the COVID-19 pandemic, but they might not be as secure as we think. Several Texas cities are dealing with scams involving fraudulent QR codes on parking meters. Fox's Joy Addison has more from Houston.
If you are in a rush and find yourself looking for a quick way to pay for parking, officials say avoid QR codes because they can steal your personal information. A quick response or QR code scam is hitting the Lone Star State.
It's infuriating.
San Antonio, Austin, and now Houston city officials say they are advising customers to avoid QR codes on pay-to-park stations.
We have about 900 plus pay stations. We ended up finding 10 of those QR codes that were directing customers to that fraudulent payment site.
Cybersecurity experts say hackers are using the fraudulent sites to store banking information or install dangerous malware on devices.
The QR code will send the user of the device to a website that then asks for information like payment information or personal information that they then harvest and then use for ill-gotten gains or nefarious purposes.
They could also store your location. The problem is not just parking meters. QR codes can be used for almost any no-contact website solutions.
QR codes are nothing more than just another way to link to a website. You know, you see them on menus these days with COVID. You can't even get a paper menu anymore. You have to use your phone to scan it.
The Better Business Bureau has found a reported 36 scams involving QR codes since March 2020. Cybersecurity experts say it can be tough to remove some malware from your phone, but you can take steps to protect your devices if you are led to a fraudulent or malicious site in the future.
Change all your passwords. make sure you go to logins that you use regularly, like banking logins, and turn on two-factor authentication.
Tuesday, the FBI issued a PSA on malicious QR codes. It includes several tips on avoiding these cyber crimes. One is avoiding payment on any site that is linked to a QR code. In Houston, Joy Addison, Fox News.
All right. Coming up in sports, the Chiefs assistant coach interviews for the head coaching position with the Broncos. Plus, Carthage and Carl Junction squaring off for a spot in the Pittsburgh Tournament Championship. Jacob Leonard joins us with that and more next.
Tonight is Final Four night at the Bill Hanson Memorial Tournament in Pittsburgh. In the girls' bracket, there are two local teams still alive on the championship side in Carthage and Carl Junction. Now, the Tigers and Bulldogs square off tonight with the winner advancing to face Kickapoo in the championship. Early on, Destiny Berge pulling up and knocking down the three. Berge gets 10 for Carl Junction in the first half. Then in the second quarter, CJ, more work from deep this time. Hallie shorter, but Carthage up 23-20 at half. So we go to the second half. Maggie Boyd hits a three for Carthage. She actually hits 4 threes tonight to finish with 16. Then in the fourth, Tigers would finish it off. Landry Cochran, open over there in the corner. She knocks it down. Big win for Carthage tonight. They take down Carl Junction 53-45. The Kansas City Chiefs are in the Final Four in the AFC playoffs. Kansas City welcomes in the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, aiming to move on to the conference championship. But like we do every Friday on game week, right now it's time to hear from the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, in this week's Minute with Mitch.
It was before Andy Reid's first playoff game as head coach of the Chiefs in 2013. He had had so much playoff success in Philadelphia and Green Bay. I asked him what was the biggest key to postseason wins. He didn't hesitate. He said the trenches on both sides of the ball. He goes, it's always important, but in the playoffs, it's magnified. Now, the NFL's two hottest quarterbacks from the Super Wild Card round, Buffalo's Josh Allen, 5 TD passes, and the Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes, 5 TD passes, now meet in the divisional playoff round. But it's the quarterback who gets to do what he planned and what he wants to do who will win this game. And for both Allen and Mahomes, it doesn't take a lot. But the winner of the playoff trench warfare for these two quarterbacks wins this game on this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry. Every day's game day, Como Jewelry, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
And that Chiefs-Bills game begins at 5:30 on our sister station, KOAM Channel 7. Chiefs, by the way, are 1.5-point favorites. Now, in other Chiefs news, offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy is interviewing today with the Denver Broncos for their open head coaching position. Bieniemy has been the Chiefs' OC for the last 4 years. He was the team's running backs coach before that. Bieniemy interviewing for jobs, not really anything new. This is actually his 11th head coaching interview in the last 4 seasons. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
A 19-year-old landing back home in Belgium after securing her spot as the youngest woman to fly around the globe. Fox News correspondent Ashley Stromeyer has more on the teen's perilous journey to a Guinness World Record.
After 155 days, 41 countries, and 28,000 nautical miles, Zara Rutherford lands safely back home in Belgium. But this time as a Guinness World Record holder.
She wanted to do something, she's done it. We told her and her brother since they were born that they can do anything, that they're extraordinary and there are no limits. And I think she took that rather literally.
Zara has been flying since she was 14 years old, and all that time behind the controls has paid off. The 19-year-old aviator's successful trip makes her officially the youngest woman to fly solo around the world, surpassing the record held by American pilot Shasta Ways. But it wasn't an easy journey.
Flying from Russia to South Korea was really tough because I had to avoid North Korea, and that meant doing a huge detour. And at one point the weather started worsening as well.
The record-breaking trip took about 2 months longer than Zara had planned, with bad weather and visa mishaps holding up her journey.
Coming out to Frankfurt, there was lots of rain, lots of snow, but yes, I had to wiggle in some valleys, and I had to wait a while as well to wait for the snow to clear. But yeah, it worked out. clearly, because here I am. So.
Zara hopes her success will inspire a new generation of women aviators.
Been using kind of the press, the attention I've gotten from this to encourage more girls to go into aviation as well.
Now that Zara's feet are back on solid ground, her next big mission is to get some sleep before starting her collegiate career and one day flying to new heights as an astronaut. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Coming up, a new commercial featuring the headliners of the Super Bowl 56 halftime show. Rap stars unite. The Rocket Man sings again and more. Fox's Ashley DeVorkin has the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
Bruce Wayne. Sorry.
The Batman gets supersized, Elton returns to the stage, and hip-hop titans get the call in the Hollywood Nation. Pepsi dropped an epic Super Bowl 56 commercial featuring hip-hop's biggest stars, who will be taking the stage for the halftime show. Headliners Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, as well as special guests Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar, star in the new ad titled The Call that highlights each of their greatest hits. The rap legends will unite during the big game's halftime show at the Los Angeles SoFi Stadium February 13th.
New Orleans!
Elton John has restarted his long-delayed Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. The legendary singer returned to the stage with a show in New Orleans, Louisiana, his first concert since his performance in Australia in early March 2020. He posted an Instagram video of himself telling his NOLA audience that he's never had this much time off in his career and was happy to be back.
Justice. The answer's justice.
And the official runtime for The Batman has been revealed. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the film starring Robert Pattinson as the Caped Crusader is 2 hours and 55 minutes, which includes 8 minutes for the credits. The runtime makes it the longest of any solo Batman movie to date, and the longest theatrical superhero film behind Marvel's Avengers Endgame, which clocked in at 3 hours and 1 minute. Zack Snyder's Justice League still holds the record for longest superhero movie ever, made at 4 hours and 2 minutes. The Batman opens in theaters March 4th. In Hollywood, Ashley DeVorkin, Fox News.
Those are some long movies. Let's keep this short. That's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of otter pups at the Brookfield Zoo near Chicago. Have a great, safe weekend. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.